FM brings in some of the best names in the business to help you decide what to do with your portfolio.
Here at the American Stock Exchange, traders are hungry for news that'll move markets. They're also among the first to pounce on that news. Watch WebFN for live reports from the American Stock Exchange. It could be your best investment.
WebFN, because the sun never sets on business news. Since 1802, West Point has met the challenges of history. Cadets come from all 50 states. They represent all segments of American society, and they are top students, athletes, and leaders. West Point, preparing leaders of character for our Army. West Point, 200 years of timeless leadership.
Subscribe to Barron's, the financial weekly that lets you stay one step ahead of the market, and you'll also receive this stock evaluator free. Get 13 weeks of Barron's and the stock evaluator for only $39. Call 800-308-5200. That's 800-308-5200.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
The environment. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Welcome back to the Pocket Protectors. It's time for the grab bag where everybody has a chance to chime in. Jim Carlini of Carlini & Associates, what do you have for us?
Well, let's get back to the congressional coverage of the WorldCom incident, because that was something where we talk about reality TV. I think that was the best television I've watched in a long time. It had elements of everything. It had all the different shows that people would watch, the drama shows, the comedy shows, a little bit of F-Troop, with some of these people fumbling around for answers. And I think that more Americans should take a look at that and really watch it, just from the standpoint of getting a better idea of what's going on with some of these corporations.
Certainly it would boost C-SPAN's ratings. You're lucky they don't have to sell any advertising. They'd have a,
well, I think they'd sell a lot of advertising on that, just from the standpoint that there was a lot of good information that was handed out that you don't see in a 2-minute news report or a 5-minute news report.
I couldn't tear myself away. I had a TV on in my office and had it on, different times throughout the day. It seemed to be the never-ending congressional hearing, but some really good questions. I have to say I enjoyed the verbal assault that Bernie Evers and crew did get. And, they came out on him really hard. And I think it does show to anyone that was watching that Congress and, your congressman is, our congressman is very concerned about stabilizing the economy, bringing back trust in the markets, and prosecuting the bad guys, which is good stuff.
Definitely true. I don't think that there was any type of bipartisan politics there or anything. Everybody wanted to get down to some truth, where it was very hard to try and do that because all these people were sort of stonewalling and not really giving any answers. I was amazed at the person from Arthur Anderson that, he couldn't even talk about accounting 101.
Yeah, it was hard for me to believe, and I think anyone listening, as well as I'm sure the people at the hearing, were getting increasingly frustrated, where it seemed like the Anderson partners' knowledge of even the audit process, I've never done an audit before in my life, and I think I know more about an audit than he seemed to know about. And on the same token, Grubman, the analyst, seemed to be pretty clueless about even how he covered these companies and how they reached decisions of upgrades and downgrades, and it was definitely troubling. There's a lot of work to be done.
I know Steve was too busy in his office making phone calls, so he missed all the entertainment. But
somebody has to work for a living.
Yes. Well, what do you have in your mind, though, for this week in terms of buzz?
Well, I think that there are two interesting stories involving our government and paper. Number one, the Counterfeit Paper Money Initiative. I'd like to see exactly how many statistics there are to support paper counterfeit money crimes outstripping cyber money crimes, since I feel that we're moving towards more of a digitally based economy. There's a lot of effort put into these new inks and this new kind of paper and these new printing processes to deal with a crime that really dates back to the turn of the century. And there was an interesting article in today's Wall Street Journal concerning the FBI, and they're keeping up paper notes in books that have things that are issued ages today, like white slavery and Prohibition-era crimes. So the government is interested in paper, I think, more so on the crime level than they are in the digital ramifications of what criminals are coming up to. I say, you boys in Washington should start looking online and getting your news from your online sources and throw out the old guidebooks and your, affection to paper currencies.
Well, I think, a lot of these agencies are big bureaucracies, and they just are focused on traditional ways of doing things. And going into a computerized environment is just as tough for them as it is for companies, but probably even tougher because, as everybody says, the government moves pretty slow, and by using paper, it's to them that might be state of the art.
See, but it's not tough for the criminals, and their charge is in protecting us and our money and our businesses from these types of crimes. So I think they have to go where the crime is. Maybe we need some new people, some new blood thinking about it.
I think the analogy to me that popped in my head, it's like a police officer is issued a pistol and he's going after the bad guys that have Uzis and machine guns.
Or bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, bringing a knife to a gunfight. And here we have paper-bound journals going against very sophisticated terrorists who are using satellite phones and are very adept at using the internet and private chat rooms and encrypted messaging.
Well, you'd be surprised. There are some people in government that are really focused on cyber warfare. There are some people looking at this because, as Steve stated, the amount of money that I can steal off the internet is a lot more with a lot less hassle than if you steal something on a traditional bricks and mortar basis. And so you take a look at, if it's easy to crack into somebody's computer systems and computer networks because they don't have the proper firewalls and all that, they're going to find out that the amount per crime is going to be huge. And that's why there's some people that are already taking a look at this. Not as much as we'd like to see.
Well, what it means to me in this whole story, I'm thinking they're only changing $20 denominations and higher right now. So if I want to basically work on any of the CTA machines, which I would probably do first because I don't want to pay for my commute, well, frankly, my bills wouldn't work there right now. Nobody's been targeting the low end right there. I mean, think about all that petty pocket cash that you could actually use if it was fraudulent, how much money that would save you. That's not been the prime area for them right now.
Just put your time into cracking into PayPal, Jeff.
I think that'll definitely be my next project. All right. Well, thank you for logging into the Pocket Protectors. The market news continues on WebFN right after the break. Thanks for tuning in.